How important is it for people to understand that as we're entering a new century, for one to be an entrepreneur and a visionary, rather than just relying on a government and jobs, etc., etc.?
Yeah, it's very important. But I mean, the problem is that who determines whether you're an entrepreneur or not? It's people that stand up and call themselves entrepreneurs are the ones that I'm very weary about, because it's a word which I think normally should be earned. Yeah, and I would be calling you an entrepreneur, but it is important. And following on from the theme of what I was saying just now about working hard and doing it for yourself, definitely don't rely upon any government to help you, because you'll be in big trouble if you wait for them to help you up with any business ideas, because you just got to take a look at the politicians and you see, I mean, the current business secretary has never been in business.
Give a round of applause, please. Okay. Is it a business question? Okay, go ahead, get this guy right front.
Okay. Well, Sugar, you were talking about your reason for getting out of bed in the morning. My name's Ivan, by the way. Ivan the Tremendous, as distinct from the Terrible. You're saying you get out of bed for deals. Could you tell us sort of the backstory of the most challenging deal or the difficult deal that you ever did?
I think that when you start a business, your most difficult and most memorable occasion, I suppose, is when you do the first one. And what is the deal, really? The deal could be as simple as selling your first, bunch of, as like I did in my case, a bunch of car aerials off the back of my vehicle when I went out and took the risk, or in 1966, whenever it was, or 67, yeah, 66 or 67, took the risk of taking 100 quid at those days and buying a minivan, second-hand minivan for 50 quid, and buying some stock with the rest of the money. The stock I bought was something which I understood, the point I was making to the gentleman over there. So I knew what I was doing. And then when you sell the first lot to your first customer, that's a great deal, yeah? And the transaction might have been worth, I don't know, 3 quid or 4 quid or whatever it was, who knows what it was. And then, you move on 25 years later and you buy a company for £6 million and you sell it to a German company like Bosch for 150 million. That's also a deal. That's quite exciting. But perhaps maybe not even as exciting as the very first deal that you do when you start your business up. I remember walking out of B-Sky B once with a bunch of corporate lawyers that were with me. I walked away with a deal, one single order for a product for £120 million, one single order. And they were jumping up and down saying, can't believe what they've just done. And I didn't think there was anything special, to be honest with you. It's what we do, But it's funny because they were quite shocked at my lack of jumping up and down, high-fiving and all that stuff. Really, it's like, let's get on. Come on, we've got to go home now.
I said, well, Sugar, when you talk about deals that don't come off, I know there's a great story you shared once about handheld, palm-held computer. Do you want to share that? Because
well, there's another thing. That's where my culture actually backfired on me. I spoke to a young lady, I think it was a young lady asked a question earlier on about she was doing something. I was up there and she said she was doing something and it hasn't come off and times were bad, and I think my advice was cut and run, yeah? And that was my philosophy. And on one particular product category, I cut and run far too early. And it was because of the complacency that I got myself into a situation whereby every single product in the mid-80s that we made went off like a rocket and we sold 100,000 a month or something like that. You know? And there was one particular product we came out with, which was what you will know today as an iPhone, or a derivative of an iPhone. Go back a little bit, it was a derivative of something which you might have known as a Palm Pilot or something like that. And there was that product we came out with, and it was far too early for the marketplace, far too early. We made 100,000 of them, and they didn't sell that quickly. People didn't understand them, and I cut and run. That's it, we're out. And of course, the rest is history, really. I mean, you've got Palm Pilot went on about 4 or 5 years later, and sold 20, 50 million of them, whatever. And Apple came out with you know, similar products afterwards. Yeah.
And of course for that. Okay. Let's just come back upstairs. Are the mic runners up there? Where's the mic runner? Can I see a mic runner? Where are the mic runners upstairs? Who's got the mic? Where's the mic? Okay, brilliant. Just behind you there. Just behind you. That's it. The lady there. Please stand up. That one. Yeah, there you go.
Good evening, Lord Sugar. If there were 5 businesses offering the same product and you were after the product, what quality of the business would determine which one you would
Say again, sorry, if there were 5 what?
If there were 5 different businesses offering the same product and you needed that product, what quality would you look for in that business, i.e. marketing, honesty?
No, I mean, you're talking about me as a buyer,
yes,
in say at Sainsbury's, wanting a particular product, and 5 different suppliers came to me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes. Which one would you go for? Which would attract you to that? What quality?
Well, I think you know, price is not everything for a start, and it very much depends on the commodity in question or the service in question. But what is important is the perception that you have of that company as to whether they can deliver what they are offering. Is very, very important. That you know, as I say, price is one issue, and of course it's an important issue. But more to the point is that you would tend to choose a company. And I know this is difficult for young startups, but you would tend to choose a company on the fact of what have you done before, and who have you sold to before. And that's where it gets hard sometimes for new companies, because if you haven't done it before, you've got to break into somewhere in order to be able to quote where you're breaking into as the thing you did before. So I think what you would need to do is to ensure that you are ready and armed with a kind of portfolio of questions as to, i.e. what's your price, when you can deliver, what have you done before, how are you going to deliver it, how are you going to go about it, how are you going to look after your customer, and how are you going to make that customer feel comfortable in dealing with you. So those are those elements of things you need to put together. As I say, price is most certainly not the only question these days.
Okay. Who's up there? Who's got Bernie's business question? Okay. Can the mic runner please run over to the guy right over there? Right at the end. That's it. Standing up right there. There we go. And then get ready down here. Get ready down here. Mic runners, get ready. The next question will be from this lady here, right? So next mic runner, please just get to this lady here, right? We're probably going to take about 2 more after that. So somebody else from around here. Okay, yeah, let's take. Right, the gentleman right there, right? So that'll be it from down here. I'll take a few more up here. So mic runner, make sure you go there after. Listen, excuse me, sir. We already gave you some time, right? You can take security. Can we have security removing, please? Thank you very much. So,
hi, good evening.
When you're ready, right? Just a second. I'll give you idea.
Shall I start? Yeah. Right, good evening, Lord Sugar. We've listened to many entrepreneurs in the last couple of days, such as James Khan, who's come in and said he set up his business. He's then moved on to non-for-profit organisations and charities, etc. And so is Sir Richard Branson.